Enemies of the people versus enemies of the state. A battle for America's soul. Two Americas, two lists. There comes a moment in the history of every nation when the lines are drawn, not with bullets or banners, but with ideas, with allegiances, and with truth versus propaganda. We are living in that moment now. In our day, the terms enemy of the people and enemy of the state carry profound weight. The former exposes those who undermine the public trust, manipulate the masses, and cry racism not to solve injustice but to wield it as a weapon. The latter is a label cast upon those who dare to challenge tyranny, question the narrative, and ignite the flame of liberty. Strikingly, the enemies of the state are the very people who stand as champions of the Constitution, the Republic, and the God-given rights that define American greatness. This article outlines the two opposing forces, including their names, ideologies, and the fruits of their labor. History will record this ideological civil war. But for those with eyes to see, the battle is already raging. Enemies of the people. Those who use government as a club against the people, who cry racism and equity, while bankrupting cities, dividing races, and destroying the constitutional order. Peter Strzok, the smug, self-righteous FBI agent who plotted against a duly elected president. His text messages revealed not only his contempt for Trump voters, but also his willingness to use federal power for political warfare. We'll stop him. Strzok, referring to President Trump. Strzok is not just an angry bureaucrat. He represents the deep state's willingness to subvert democracy for elite control. James Comey, the former FBI director who leaked classified memos, orchestrated illegal surveillance under the FISA court, and weaponized the nation's top law enforcement agency for partisan aims. He played the part of holier-than-thou statesman while trampling due process. Adam Schiff, the perennial liar from California who pushed the Russian collusion hoax for years, despite knowing it was false. His theatrics led to millions of Americans believing a lie, turning half the country against the other half. He traffics in deception with a straight face. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House turned queen of hypocrisy. She tore up the State of the Union address like a petulant child. She used COVID as a political tool to crush small businesses, promote mail-in voting chaos, and usher in inflationary policies. Her wealth multiplied as Americans suffered. The Democrat race hustlers, from Ayanna Pressley to Ilhan Omar, from Maxine Waters to Cory Booker, a generation of leaders has risen who cry racism when law enforcement is enforced, call for reparations instead of responsibility, and who demonize American heritage while praising Marxist ideology. Their goal is not unity, it's division, not progress, but power. Enemies of the state, those labeled as threats by the regime, the media, the bureaucrats, and globalist institutions. Yet these are men and women who stand for truth, accountability, and the preservation of American liberty. President Donald J. Trump, a billionaire outsider who exposed the rotted core of D.C. He gave a voice to the forgotten men and women. His America First policy terrified both Democrats and establishment Republicans alike because it worked. Secure borders, low unemployment, peace abroad, that made him dangerous to the state. They're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way. Trump, Elon Musk. He purchased Twitter X to restore free speech, instantly becoming public enemy number one to the media and government censors. Musk is an innovator, not a politician, but his commitment to open dialogue is a threat to those who thrive in the shadows. Joe Rogan, a podcaster? Yes, but perhaps the most listened-to man in America. Rogan allows all voices, not just those approved by the government. For that, he has been smeared, censored, and targeted. However, his authenticity continues to dismantle the legacy media's strongholds. Tucker Carlson, a journalist who dared to say what others whispered. He called out Pfizer, questioned the Ukraine narrative, and shined a light on the January 6th footage. He was too honest for Fox News, which removed him in a stunning move that revealed just how threatened the establishment felt. Steve Bannon, a strategist for the working class, Bannon understands the war being waged against American sovereignty. For that, he's been hounded, indicted, and demonized. Yet he presses on, unafraid and unrepentant. Christians who refuse to bow, pastors fined for keeping churches open, teachers fired for refusing to call boys girls, business owners sued for refusing to create woke wedding cakes. These are not criminals, they are patriots, and they are persecuted not because they hate, but because they stand for the truth. Choose your side. We are witnessing a moral inversion. Those who call for strong families, secure borders, and the preservation of Western values are branded extremists. Meanwhile, those who destroy cities, push for late-term abortion, and advocate for chemical castration of children are called progressives. History asks, will you stand with the people or with the state? One list celebrates free speech, the Bill of Rights, and the Christian values that built the nation. The other list tears at the foundation, brick by brick, crying racism as they strip Americans of dignity, safety, and opportunity. Let us be clear. Trump is not the threat to democracy. They are. Musk is not the problem with free speech. They are. Christians are not the villains in this story. They are. To call truth hate is the oldest lie in the book. In the end, the people will rise, not with violence, but with boldness, with the vote, with the truth, and with God on their side. Subscribe for more. Follow this Substack to support bold writing that champions American liberty, Christian values, and unfiltered truth. We are not afraid. We are the remnant.